Ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not, but the once great nation of Spain actually seems to be on the cusp of getting kicked out of the European Union altogether. Seriously. And the reason why is because Spain's far-left communist leadership, well, they have pretty much opened up Spain's borders to the entire third world. They're coming flooding into the country. If you haven't seen, take a look at this. Let's get right into it. Folks, this is what we saw yesterday in Spain. Look at this. We saw tens of thousands. As far as I can tell, what I've read, around 50 or 60,000 third worlders coming in from Africa have been invading Spain, not just yesterday, but also today. The invasion has continued. More footage coming out this morning. They tried to put up gates and barricades and fences, and they came just piling over the walls here. It reminds us of what happened here in America during the Joe Biden auto ban administration, when we saw very similar scenes. And as you all know, this is what happens when you have far-left leadership in a country. Take a look at this. Various European Union countries are now officially calling for Spain to be kicked out of the Schengen zone. On July 30th, Spain, under far-left Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, provoked the largest migration crisis since 2015. At least 50,000 North African migrants stormed the Spanish enclaves of Ceuta and Melilla. No one tried to stop them or protect the European Union borders. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni proposed expelling Spain from the Schengen visa-free zone to protect Italy's borders from the flood of illegal alien migrants. She said, and I quote, "Italy will not stand idle." By the way, side note, what is Schengen? What is the Schengen zone? It's an agreement with all of these European Union member nations, all these European countries, that pretty much you can travel freely from one country to another without really needing visas or paperwork or passports. You can just come and go. So it's a free travel agreement inside of Europe. It's called the Schengen zone. And they want to kick Spain out. Kick them out because they don't want these migrants coming from Spain into France or Germany or Italy, etc. Meloni's initiative is already backed by Finland, Czechia, and Denmark, forming a bloc of 4 states alongside Italy. France has already introduced border controls with Spain, trying to keep them out. Spain has been put into a containment zone, quarantine, isolation. Spain has completely failed to protect the external Schengen border. This cannot continue. Countries that do not fulfill their obligations cannot remain members of the Schengen area, the Finnish minister stated earlier today. And you know what? He's absolutely right. By the way, these migrants, these illegal aliens flooding into Spain over the last couple days, for many of them, their ultimate final destination is not Spain. They realize if we can get into Spain, then it's really not that hard to get into France. It's not that difficult to get into Italy or Monaco or Switzerland or Austria. They can go anywhere they want. If you can make it into one of these countries, they're in Europe, they can go wherever the hell they want. It's called the Schengen zone. So that's what's going on right now. Spain might just be getting kicked out. The United States Department of State chimed in this morning saying this, and I quote, "The United States stands with the people of Spain and all Europeans against this egregious violation of their sovereignty and of European human rights. This unacceptable incident is the direct result of the Spanish government's deliberate efforts to enable and facilitate mass illegal migration into Europe." And yes, that is what they've been doing for a long time. Just a couple months ago, by the way, the far-left Spanish communist government gave amnesty to somewhere between 500,000 and 1.2 million illegal aliens. Do you think it's a coincidence that the far-left communist Spanish government gives amnesty to 1.2 million illegal aliens, and then not long after, they see this massive invasion of more third-world illegal aliens? No, this is basic cause and effect. Everybody could have predicted this. U.S. State Department goes on to say, "We are considering actions to defend Americans at home and abroad from this threat in Europe and stand ready to assist our European allies considering similar options. Everybody's putting Spain into quarantine right now. They don't want anything to do with this. Elon Musk chimed in, slamming Spain's communist prime minister Pedro Sanchez is his name, highly corrupt individual. Elon Musk says, and I quote, "When you offer Spanish citizenship to invaders, guess what? You get more invaders." Like I said, I just said this 30 seconds ago. Elon Musk is a pretty smart guy. I don't know if you know, he's a pretty smart guy. Basic cause and effect. One of my favorite analogies here, the children's book, it's called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. If you give a mouse a cookie, is the mouse going to be satisfied and be done and that's all? That's the end of that you hear of it? No. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want a straw and a napkin and a glass of milk and God knows what else. Maybe another cookie, maybe another 10 cookies. This is you give a mouse a cookie. If you give an illegal alien an amnesty, well, then you're going to have another 10 billion illegal aliens. We've seen this story play. It's a tale as old as time now. It just plays out time and time over and over again. Everyone with a functioning brain could have predicted this. Elon Musk goes on to say, Elon Musk says, Spain's entire budget will be destroyed by illegal aliens. Yeah, he says, it's basic math. If Spain offers free stuff to migrants that is above 90% of the living standards of Earth, then they create a forcing function for 90% of the Earth to move to Spain, which is about 7 billion people. Yeah, if every single member of the third world, if every single third world individual reads the headline, Spain is giving out free healthcare and services and food assistance and housing to everybody that shows up inside of Spain, then guess what happens? Humans, they respond to incentives. What you're going to see is every single third world illegal alien come flooding into Spain to try to get the free stuff. You ever go to a national park? What do you see? All the signs, they say, do not feed the wildlife. You go to a national park, do not go to Yellowstone. Do not feed the wildlife. Why? But I want to give the birds some crackers. No, it's because it creates a dependency. Then they stop being able to take care of themselves and they just depend on the free handouts. Okay, it's like welfare for animals. In this case, it's for illegal aliens. Okay, this is common sense. Elon Musk gets it. Everybody knows this. President Trump himself chimed in this afternoon.
You know, I saw Spain yesterday, and I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse. Much bigger, much easier to get into, despite the fact that we have built thousands of miles of wall, which I said we were going to do, but we didn't have that, forget it. But we have the safest border in the world. If we're not in office, our country will be invaded at levels that made Spain look small time. Sure. And when I watched it, I said, boy, I'm going to say it because I knew you were going to be at Camp David, and I say, that's going to be a talking point for the midterms. Because when you look at what happened to Spain, they don't know what to do. And it's happening again today. They're coming in by the tens of thousands. They're just invading the country. And what that is weak law, bad management, but very liberal law. They passed a couple of laws, and people read. You know, people are smart. They read from other countries, and they swam that 3-mile swim, or however they got in, but nobody's seen anything like it. That will look good compared to what's going to happen to the United States. The biggest thing, the worst thing that Biden did is allowing 25 million people into our country, because many of those people are criminals. They're murderers. A lot of murder. 11,888. A lot of them are gone now. We got them out. But they allowed people to come into this country that you can't allow to come into a country.
And you know what? By the way, Trump is absolutely right to talk about this as it pertains to midterms and the upcoming 2028 presidential election. If the Democrats win, if they regain control of this country, you can bet your sweet American behind that they are going to open up the border and flood this country with numbers of illegal aliens that you have never seen before. You think Spain looks bad over the last 2 days? You thought what happened in 2022 and 2023 was bad? You ain't seen nothing yet. That is what the Democrats are planning on doing again, times 100, times infinity. They don't even want the border at all. Everybody can come on in. We got to vote. Midterms are coming up here pretty soon. We cannot let them regain